ideas, mate. We have got some useful verbs for you here. Now, we could put the verb walked if we're describing what those characters are doing or the gorilla's doing, but we could think a bit deeper than that. We could go wandered, ambled, strode, ventured, paced. So all of those mean the same as walk, but it's making it sound a bit more interesting. We could say the boy held onto the gorilla, but we can also use words like gripped, clasped, and clung to. We could say he sat on the gorilla, he rode, jockeyed, or straddled. And the gorilla, we've said that he's looking dead ahead, but maybe he glanced or stared or focused dead ahead. And I think I've forgotten an S in focus, so I'll whack that there for you. If we're thinking about adverbs to describe how these things are being done, we could say that we could be doing something carefully, or confidently, cautiously, bravely. Maybe the boy is gripping onto the gorilla loosely. Maybe he's tightly gripping on. Maybe he's comfortably sat, or maybe he's sat uncomfortably. Or maybe the gorilla strode warily across the log, aware of all the things that are going on around him. And then if we think about prepositions, it's not something that we're trying to include today, but it could be useful. We could say they are, let's say they wandered over the river, on top of the fallen tree, across the bridge, through the jungle, towards, maybe there's something that we can't see over here, but they're walking towards. Maybe they're approaching something that we can't see. Maybe they're walking away from something over here that we can't see. We can use our imagination. Or maybe they are traversing that bridge. And some of you managed to use that word yesterday, which was really, really awesome. So let's have a look at the sentences we've got for today. I'm going to read this out to you. Then I'm going to give you a minute or so just to read it back to yourselves. And Mr. Williamson is going to be looking for those lips moving to make sure that we are reading this out loud. And then, as always, I'm going to ask some people to tell us why certain words are in red, some are in green, and some are in blue. Okay, so listen carefully. As soon as I've read the word below, we'd expect to see you reading this back out loud to yourselves, just making sure that your microphones are kept on mute. Here we go. The young boy and his sidekick had been venturing bravely through the vast jungle all day. They knew that as soon as they had traversed the murky river, it would be time to find a place to rest. The gorilla marched confidently with his young companion perched between his mighty shoulders. The boy gripped the gorilla's fur tightly between his small fingers. The last thing he wanted to do was plummet into the ominous, murky water below. So hopefully now we're reading that back to ourselves.
Just while we're doing that, Mr. Barton, Bo's got her hand up, so I don't know if she's got a question about something.
Oh, go for it, Bo.
Are the butterflies part of the characters?
Absolutely, Bo. Okay then, Mr. Williamson. So I can see some hands are going up. Is there anybody that can tell us why some of these words are in a particular colour? Who could we choose, Mr. Williamson?
Let's go for... Who have we not had today? Stanley, please.
Is the blue ones adverbs?
Not adverbs, Stanley. Good guess. There are some adverbs in there, but the adverbs are... Oh, go on.
I mean verbs.
They are. Well done. These are our interesting verbs. These are where we've used synonyms to make those verbs sound a little bit more interesting. Good boy, Stanley. Who can tell us about either the green or the red words, Mr. Williamson?
Let's have Freya, please.
Are the green ones adverbs?
Well done, Freya. You've noticed that we've got some ly adverbs there. Brilliant. What about those red ones then? Venturing, marched, and gripped. Those are all... Oh, actually, I can't say the next word because I'll give it away. Who thinks they know, Mr. Williamson?
We've got... Olivia thinks she knows.
Are they verbs?
Well done, Olivia. These are all verbs. These are all actions, aren't they? We can venture, we can do that. We can march, and we can. Those are all things that we can do. But down here, there's something in purple that we're not trying to include today, but we've tried to include before. It says the ominous, murky water. Does anyone know what that might be?
I think Jean knows.
Go on, Jean.
An expanded noun phrase.
Good girl, Jean. Well done. We've got determiner, adjective, adjective, noun. Awesome. So, like I said earlier, these will be up on Seesaw for when we, as soon as this call finishes. So if you want to magpie any of these sentences, you absolutely can. So let's remind ourselves of what we are doing today. We are thinking about actions, those verbs. We're thinking about ly adverbs to describe how those actions are being done. And we're also making sure that we're thinking about synonyms for verbs, not just using the most basic vocabulary, really trying hard to up-level our vocab and making it sound really interesting for the reader. All right, we've got our model text here and the vocab will be available to you. So just before I stop screen sharing, I'm just going to click on this, click on more, and I'm going to stop recording.